Hey everybody, it's time to come and party with Nick with the new episode of my podcast, which is going to be episode number 8. And judging by what happened last week, I'm sure you guys can all guess what this one's going to be about, because just this past Friday there was a new Nintendo Direct. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. There was definitely some, interesting announcements that came out of that. Some good, some bad. But either way, I'm excited to get into it, so we'll see what happens. And with me for this particular episode, I've got my good friend Crazy Mario and CraigS1996 Television, who has not been in one of my videos for a very long time. So yeah, you guys feel free to say hi.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here on the Come&PartywithNick channel again, and with one of these podcasts.
Yep. Alright, so let's get into this. So the first thing I do want to very quickly and I guess you could say kind of briefly discuss here is the fact that around the beginning of the Direct, they obviously talked a little bit more about the upcoming Mario movie, and of course we got an official name for it, which of course is going to be the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So that definitely does excite me quite a bit. You know, obviously the Mario Galaxy games are really awesome. I really love playing the games, and the fact that the movie is going to be based around that, I definitely think is pretty cool, and I do like the name as well.
For one, can't wait to see it when it comes out to the movie theaters.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know when exactly that movie's going to come out. Excuse me. I don't know when exactly. They did say the spring, but if I had to hedge a guess, I'd probably say
April.
Yeah, I was going to say like March or April. April probably most likely, considering the fact that the first Mario movie came out that month.
I'm gonna guess April, just because that's when the Mario Galaxy Amiibos are coming out. I feel like they're releasing the movie the same month the Amiibos come out to boost sales.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, that would definitely make sense. I would imagine probably the timing of it, considering the fact, obviously, like I said, they want to have the Amiibos out, and the fact that, obviously they want to drive as many people to go see the movie as possible and make all the profit off it they can. I do think April probably is a pretty safe bet. Plus, like I said, the fact that it pretty much aligns perfectly with, the releasing of the first Mario movie back in 2023.
Yeah, because why else would they postpone the Amiibos till April if it wasn't to coincide with the movie?
Yeah, I mean, when I did my Super Mario Galaxy review back in 2023, that was just coming off the heels of me watching Mario Bros. Movie back in that year.
Yep. So, like I said, in general, I think it makes sense, and either way, I'm definitely very, very excited to see the movie for sure, and definitely the fact that it is based on the Galaxy games does give me hope that the story will hopefully be a little bit, I guess, for like lack of a better term, kind of like a lot more well thought out, and kind of like I guess you could say like a bit more in depth than the first movie, but obviously only time will tell.
Just don't sideline Luigi again. That is my main complaint of the first one.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue I had with the first Mario movie too.
Yeah, please actually give Luigi a bigger role this time, please. Especially as a big Luigi fan myself, please do not just relegate him to kind of like just basically like this, minor side character. Do not do that again, please.
Please don't.
Charlie Day fit like his character the most, and he wasn't in the movie a lot, so that's also upsetting.
Yeah, so please actually give Luigi something substantial to do in this movie.
In fact, I think some of this movie, they should give Luigi his own subplot in the Galaxy movie.
Yep. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and depending on how the movie turns out, I might even do a review of it not long after it comes out, so we'll see what happens on that front. Now, speaking of Galaxy stuff, of course, one of the other big announcements of this Direct was the fact that both Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 are getting re-released, and definitely as someone who considers both of those games to be amongst not just the best Mario games, but probably some of the best video games of all time, I was very happy to see that. And not only that, but the fact that, of course, that they've gotten some minor upgrades in terms of like the fonts and like the overall visuals. Obviously, it's not a full-blown remaster by any means, but you can definitely tell they've touched up some things. It's still really cool for sure. Now, I've already got Mario Galaxy 1 on 3D All-Stars, so I don't know if I'll bother getting the double pack, but I definitely will try to get Mario Galaxy 2 for sure. But either way, I'm definitely excited for that.
I was just going to get 2, and then I found out that both games are getting mouse controls, and I want to play them with mouse controls, so I'm getting both.
I probably will not get the double Galaxy pack for the most part. I mean, I already have the original Super Mario Galaxy on the Nintendo Wii itself, and I still need to play Super Mario Galaxy 2 myself on the Nintendo Wii coming soon. I just don't know when I'll get to that yet.
Yep. Well, that's definitely up to you. But either way, that's definitely fair on your part, Crazy. And like I said, the fact that they do have mouse controls for the games is definitely quite awesome for sure. And like I said, considering the fact that these are 2 of the best games ever made, it definitely is great to see them actually finally get re-released in this way. And I'm excited to play them now. And this is, of course, going to be a general theme throughout this pretty much this entire discussion. But I feel I must address the elephant in the room here, and that is, of course, the pricing. Because, oh boy, it really does feel like Nintendo's getting gritty with this lately. I mean, honestly, $70 for both games combined?
Judas Priest. 70 bucks. That's pretty much 1995 Super Nintendo Entertainment System cartridges for that price of 95.
Exactly. And for an 18-year-old game and a 15-year-old game, respectively. Like, come on, that is just criminal. And look, both of those games are amazing, like I've said before. So,
It stings more because when Galaxy 2 first came to the Wii U, they sold it for $10.
Exactly. So it just feels like a ripoff now. And even though both of those games are great,
and after that, while the Wii U eShop was still up, they sold Galaxy 1 and 2 on there for $20 each.
Yep. So charging a combined $70 now is just ridiculous. And as good as those 2 games are, they do not need to be $70 at combined. Especially, like I said, considering, like I said, you can get them for much cheaper before. And Nintendo isn't even really doing that much to these games, like I said, other than, of course, updating a couple of the fonts and adding mouse controls, which is great and all, but that doesn't make them worth $70 combined.
See, if they wanted to be like, well, we sold it for $20, but we're remastering them, then maybe I could see, like, if they were selling them for $30 each, I could feel like that would be reasonable, but $40 is high.
Oh, yeah. $35 each if we're doing them separately. 35 plus 35 equals 70.
Yep. And of course, if you just want to buy them individually, they're $40. So yeah, either way, not a good deal at all. And like I said, it is unfortunately a prime example of how Nintendo is just basically trying to milk us for as much money as possible, which is definitely unfortunate.
That's mainly the reason why I do not have Switch 2 at the moment. I probably won't be getting it. I don't know.
But in terms of pricing, Galaxy Combo is upsets me a little, but not as much as the other 2, as some of the other 2 things of prices.
Yep. And we'll get to those pretty soon. But either way, in terms of the Galaxy Combo Pack, definitely looking forward to that. I think it's going to be fun to replay those games again. But the price, like I said, is criminal. So it does kind of take a little bit of the excitement away, but not fully.
Not fully, of course.
Yep. All right. Now, so another thing they announced during the whole Mario 40th anniversary presentation was, of course, the fact that we're getting a new Mario Tennis game in the name of Mario Tennis Fever. Now, before I quickly say the other thing I wanted to say, let me just go ahead and point out that in terms of the game itself, I actually do think it looks really good. Compared to Mario Tennis Aces, and especially that piece of trash, Mario Tennis Ultra Smash, I actually do think this game looks like it's got some bones on it. It looks like it's got decent amount of content. I do like the amount of characters and rackets they have, and it does look like it'd be quite some fun. So I'm sure the game itself will be great. The problem is just that considering most of us wanted like either a new Mario baseball game, like a new Mario sports game in general, the announcement itself just kind of feels a bit underwhelming, I guess is the right word to use.
It was underwhelming at first, but then again, it may suck, but that we're not getting baseball. But we just have to. At this point, I'm just hoping Mario Baseball will come to NSL like the GameCube one.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it just sucks for me, especially since tennis is my least favorite sport out of the 4 Mario ones they make.
I see. I mean, I do play.
The only Mario tennis game I like is Aces.
The
So
only.
hopefully Fever will be better.
I've only played the original Mario Tennis from the Nintendo 64 back in the day, but that's about it. I don't really own any of the other tennis games.
Yeah, for me, the Mario Tennis game, the only Mario Tennis game I think I really do truly love is Mario Power Tennis on the GameCube. That is always probably going to be like one of my favorite Mario sports games of all time, along with Toadstool Tour.
Toadstool Tour is my favorite Mario Golf game. It's definitely miles better than the original.
Yep, for sure. But either way, like I said, I still am looking forward to that game a lot. It looks like it'll be a ton of fun, and I don't know if that's going to be like a day one purchase for me, but I definitely will try to get it probably hopefully within the couple weeks after the game is out for sure. So overall, like I said, even though I was kind of hoping for something else, I'm not really going to complain either because the game itself does look pretty good.
Also, Baby Waluigi has been created.
Yep.
That already makes it good.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, we can't go talking about Mario Tennis Fever without mentioning Baby Waluigi because, well, he exists now. So that is pretty cool as well. Anybody for the longest.
They better let me play as the other babies in the story mode because I want to play through the entirety of it as Baby Waluigi.
Heck yeah. So seeing Baby Waluigi actually confirmed is pretty cool, and for people such as Crazy, I'm sure, who have been wanting this confirmed for a long time, it's definitely a nice treat for sure. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I got to say about Mario Tennis Fever. Another game, of course, they announced during the Mario 40th anniversary presentation was, of course, the Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and this one I'm actually kind of 50-50 about whether or not I should actually get, because on the one hand, I do think Mario Bros. Wonder is a really fun game, but then on the other hand, there was nothing really they showed about the Switch 2 edition or like the DLC. Like, even though it looks kind of cool, there was nothing that kind of gave me that clip that was like, ooh, I had to get this right now. Like yeah, sure, it looks nice, but honestly, there was really nothing about it that made me think that it was like a worthy upgrade to get right away. So that one I'm kind of taking a wait and see attitude on.
Okay.
But they're adding Rosa.
Yep. Yeah, which is nice. I'm definitely not going to deny that, but like I said, it's one of those things where, we'll have to see how it actually turns out when it gets released.
I mean, to me, the Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition looks like the first Switch 2 edition that's actually worth $20.
Yep.
It's a bunch of multiplayer modes and new levels, and they're adding new bosses. It seems like they're actually adding worthwhile content, where Kirby just reused levels, and Jamboree kind of just was, I like tag team, but that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, we'll definitely see how that turns out. That could definitely be interesting for sure.
Absolutely.
And of course, before they closed out the Mario 40th anniversary stuff, we also got, of course, the revelation of a new Yoshi game coming out called Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. Now, in all honesty, I was kind of, if they were going to announce a Yoshi game, I was kind of hoping for like a 3D one. But this game does still look like a lot of fun. Now, hopefully, like I said, it'll turn out more like Woolly World in terms of quality, because I'm definitely not alone in the opinion that Woolly World was a lot more fun than Crafted World. But overall, it does look like a pretty cute game, and I'm sure one that I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I dropped Crafted World after just like one world. I'm really not big on Yoshi games. Woolly World was like the only Yoshi game I like.
Yep. And I do like the art style it seems like they're going with this particular game, and like I said, it does look like it'd be a lot of fun. So ultimately, we'll see what happens. But that definitely might be a game I consider getting pretty close to when it comes out because it does look like a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that about covers it for the Mario 40th anniversary stuff. Overall, obviously, not 100% what I was anticipating, but still kind of, I'd say, an overall mix of, I guess you could say, like good and okay. I definitely gonna get the Mario Galaxy stuff. The Mario Tennis game looks good, and like I said, I'm definitely excited about the new Yoshi game as well. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, the Mario Galaxy movie I'm definitely looking forward to a lot since it is based on two of the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
All right, but now let's go ahead and get onto some other things that were discussed during the direct. First thing I do want to mention actually is the fact that for all the Metroid fans out there, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond finally has a release date. So obviously after 8.5 years of us knowing about this game, the Metroid fans are finally going to be able to play it, so that's definitely good news for them. Now, I personally don't really care about the Metroid Prime series that much, so I won't really be touching Metroid Prime 4, but for those who are looking forward to the game, I hope they really enjoy it a lot.
I hope so too, and I've only played the original Metroid and, of course, Super Metroid for the NES and NES.
I have Prime 1, and I'm going to play it eventually. I just need to get into the Prime games, and then I'll pick up 4.
Yeah, and I will say that even though I'm not really a Metroid fan in general, let alone one of the Metroid Prime games, I will say the Metroid Prime 4, especially the Switch 2 edition, although, as a caveat, I will say the Switch 1 edition actually does look beautiful considering the system it's on, but the Switch 2 edition especially looks absolutely gorgeous. It really does look like an absolutely beautiful game, visually speaking. And of course, we also got Samus on a bike, so that was a bit unexpected as well, but I'm sure that will be an interesting mechanic for sure.
Right?
But yeah, for the Metroid fans out there in general, or even just for Metroid fans on my channel, it comes out on December 4th, so for those who are planning to get the game day one, I hope you all enjoy it a lot.
Okay, December 4th. Gotcha. Let me write that down.
Alright. And we also got, of course, more information on Pokemon Legends ZA, and of course the fact that, and I know this is a game that Crazy is looking forward to a lot, and same thing with many other people. Never really been particularly much into Pokemon, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to really enjoy this game, and like I said, it does hope it turns out well.
No, I'm completely against this game now.
Yeah, and I was actually just about to get into the reason why, because as unfortunately a lot of people know, they literally have freaking announced DLC for it before the game even comes out, and it's like, why? What are you doing, Nintendo?
What are you doing?
For $30, so if you want the full game, you have to pay $100 before, if you even know if you want it or not.
Good God.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was not happy about that particular thing. I'm also a little upset, like I'm not like fully like upset, but it's upsetting because this is the way like Pokemon Home works is that you can transfer Pokemon from certain games to others. You cannot transfer Pokemon from ZA to Home, and if you end up transferring Pokemon into ZA, they are stuck there and cannot be transferred back out.
Well, damn.
Yeah, so that is just really stupid, and this is another...
Another complaint is the whole, like, they are introducing, like, new, like, Kalos Megas, and they are locking them behind ranked mode for online. So not only do you have to spend $100, if you want the new Megas, that's also paying for having to have an NSO subscription and doing well on the online to get those.
Jesus. That's too much.
hearing all of that is completely, like, turned me against Pokemon now. I can't really see myself buying Pokemon games anymore.
Yeah, I really can't either with that.
Yeah, this is another case where it feels like Nintendo is just trying to squeeze out every last dime out of their fans, and it's like, Nintendo.
I feel like most of that is the Pokemon Company, because they do make their decisions outside of Nintendo, so I blame the Pokemon Company for the most part for all this. Except, like, Nintendo for, like, something else compared to Pokemon, but, like, I'm not gonna, like, obviously talk about it because it's not about direct, but still.
Yeah, but like I said, it is a big epic fail nonetheless, and as I'm sure it has for Crazy, I imagine that the fact that they basically announced a DLC before this game comes out, and the fact that it's going to cost a ridiculous amount of money for people to want to enjoy the whole thing is turning a lot of people off of it. So, great fucking job, guys. You really did a great job, basically ensuring many people are not going to get this game now because of that, and this easily had the potential to be one of your greatest hitters. So, great job.
Like, I said that the Galaxy prices were a bit, iffy. They are not, prices are nothing compared to the $30 DLC at launch.
Oh, yeah, this is the reason why
That is worse.
That is the reason why I don't bother with any of the DLCs when it comes to getting some of the content that I want. Because the DLC, I just feel like they're just unnecessary at this point.
Especially for a single-player game. Like, I can get same-day DLC if it's, like, a multiplayer game for, like, extra characters or whatever, but a single-player game should not have DLC at launch or even a few months after a game comes out.
Right.
And before anyone comments as well, I also don't want to hear anything about, inflation or, tariffs or whatever, because, regardless of how true those world conditions may be, none of that justifies the bullshit prices for the DLC or anything Nintendo's doing for this game in general. It's still absolute horseshit, to put it quite frankly.
Yeah, no, the whole, Donkey Kong DLC being $20 is ridiculous, too. For what they're charging.
If I buy the game, I want to play what was given to me and not any of this extra that they put in just for more money and squeezing.
The Donkey Kong DLC is proof that if Nintendo could go back and change it, they would have charged for Luigi's Balloon World.
Yep.
Oh yes, definitely.
Speaking of which, I guess that's the next topic we'll get into, is the fact that DK Bonanza has gotten some DLC, and kind of ridiculous, first of all, to announce that, literally just 2 months after the game came out, and not one from Mario Kart World nonetheless. But also the fact that it's $20, and from what I've seen, the DLC itself doesn't even look good.
It gives you one minigame to play and an island with nothing on it. That is the DLC for $20.
Yep.
It adds as much content as Balloon World did, except Balloon World was free.
Absolutely.
Yep. And
I've heard it again, and yeah, I agree. It's like if Odyssey charged to roam around the Mushroom Kingdom and charged for Balloon World. It's pretty much this Donkey Kong DLC.
Yeah, I pretty much am in complete agreement. There is absolutely no reason. Really, it shouldn't even be $5. But the fact that it's $20 is just borderline criminal. Especially since, like you said, the content is basically equivalent to what you get in Balloon World. Except, Balloon World is actually better, and not just because it's free, but because it actually feels like it's adding something to the game.
Absolutely. This is why I don't. I get the whole having. But anyway.
But the bottom line is.
I'll let you talk now.
Sorry, I was just gonna say the bottom line is that this DLC is a ripoff, and it's not something I'm gonna pick up either.
But yeah, overall, the thing I'm most excited for wasn't even a Nintendo game in that direct.
Right.
Nice. Well, you can feel free to talk about that right now if you want to.
The thing they announced was Danganronpa 2x2, which is a game I really enjoy, and They're remaking it and creating an entirely different story that's as long as the original.
Okay.
It's pretty much just a what-if scenario, and you get to like play through like the game again, but it's different.
Nice. Well, I definitely do hope. You enjoy that for sure. I don't know if that's going to be a game I pick up, but definitely for sure, if it suits you and you enjoy it a lot, I hope that you have a lot of fun with it for sure.
It's pretty much like I think it's like a Ace Attorney kind of game, but it's a lot more like darker.
Yeah.
I could play Ace Attorney to really know if that's a fair comparison, but it is like an investigation game. You try and figure out who killed who.
So it's basically like Clue.
Kind of like you explore the island looking for mysteries and trying to find out who the culprit is.
Well, maybe I'll actually reconsider that then, now that you're pointing that out. Don't know for sure if I'll get it still, but that is still interesting. But either way...
like, they are remaking the second game, so if you were to get into it, you would have to play, like, the first game first.
Gotcha. Well, then I'll definitely think about it then. But either way, that's pretty interesting. And like I said, I do hope that you enjoy it when it comes out. Now, one other thing I will quickly mention, since one of my biggest friends in this server actually is into the series, even though I'm not personally going to get the game, is the fact that there's going to be a new Fire Emblem game coming out, and from what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a sequel to Three Houses. So even though I'm not personally in the Fire Emblem, I do hope the Fire Emblem fans out there do enjoy that game when it releases. From what I've seen, it looked alright, objectively speaking. You know, obviously I don't really know what the quality standard is for Fire Emblem because I really have only played like maybe one or two, and neither game really were that good to me. But for those who are into the series, I hope that they enjoy it when it comes out.
I just got into Fire Emblem Three Houses a few days ago, so wasn't excited at the time, but now I think I am starting to get excited because I played about 3 hours of Three Houses, and I'm already starting to feel addicted to it.
Nice. Well then, hopefully this game definitely will resonate with you when it comes out.
So I'll probably be going through a lot of Fire Emblem games as I can before this new one comes out.
I still have yet to play Fire Emblem in general.
You know, honestly, I wish I...
told Three Houses was a good starting point.
Yeah.
So that's what I started with, and I'm enjoying it.
I just wish I knew what my dad did with rating it down on the Wii, because I have heard that game is pretty dang rare, so if I knew where he put it, it definitely would be a game I'd like to sell for sure. But either way, like I said, for the Fire Emblem fans out there, the game does look pretty good, so even though it might not be my type of game, I hope that people who really do enjoy the Fire Emblem series enjoy it a lot when it comes out. And of course, for another announcement that I'm sure Crazy's excited about, they of course revealed more information about the Tomodachi Life game. So yeah, I hope that's going to be another game that you and I think Connor as well enjoy when it comes out for sure. I actually never really played the Tomodachi Life games in the 3DS, so I don't really have much comment there. But either way, it does. Either way, this new game, I think does look pretty interesting for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty much Nintendo's it's like Me Sims. That's what it is.
Yep.
It's The Sims with Me, it's pretty much.
That's a game that I never really got into, honestly. Anything Sims related I never got into, so this is kind of off-putting for me.
The only Sims game I think I played was The Sims Bustin' Out a long time ago.
I mean, I have Sims 2 for the Nintendo GameCube, but that's it. And even then, I had no idea what to do there.
I mean, it's not that, like, if you don't like The Sims, you could still probably get into Tomodachi Life. It is a lot more, simpler. You kind of just watch the Miis talk and interact.
Okay,
and you could give them food and presents, and that's about it. It's really just I'm gonna just watch these Miis that from a bunch of different franchises or your friends or family interact with each other.
Alright.
So yeah, we'll see how that game turns out. But now let me actually get into thing, and I apologize, guys, because this might actually turn into a bit of a rant, because even though it's, I guess you could say, kind of like a minor, like, weird announcement in the grand scheme of things, it is also so done to the point where I really have a lot to say about it. So, as some of you guys I know from the direct, we got a new NSO announcement, and which system do you guys think it was? Do you think it was the DS? No. Do you think it was the Wii? No. So then, what system did the geniuses at Nintendo think was good enough and worth to put on the service now? Why? Of course, the Virtual Boy. You know, that system that, you know, came out like 30 years ago and was a complete and total flop, and that, you know, had like 14 games for it? Yeah, we're getting that again for some reason. And not only that, but if you want to actually play any Virtual Boy games, you literally have to get the Virtual Boy accessory. What the actual fuck?
For $100, the same price that the Virtual Boy cost back when it released.
Jesus Christ.
Or you could get a piece of cardboard for $25 to play it.
And you need the expansion pack for this too?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Nintendo, I genuinely want to know what the hell you were thinking about. The only thing I can maybe think of is that for whatever reason you want to like make the library like as giant as possible, so you're just adding Virtual Boy for that reason. But even still, who in your right mind do you honestly expect to believe is gonna play like any Virtual Boy games, especially when you're charging for these ridiculous prices for these goddamn accessories?
Yeah, this is why I never played anything Virtual Boy related for my YouTube channel. I have there's no way I can do any Virtual Boy stuff on my channel. It just wouldn't work. Really.
And it's like, you know, this didn't work 30 years ago. What makes you think it's going to work now? What makes you think that suddenly in 2026 people are going to suddenly get into Virtual Boy games?
See, I would play them if they offered it just like, you don't need the accessory, you could just play them and whatnot. That would be fine. But the fact that they're requiring you to at least spend $25 on a cardboard thing to play it, and you can't even, like, I can't even, like, make content out of it by, like, streaming it or anything. It has to be in handheld mode. So, like, I have no interest in it now.
Yep.
No interest in doing anything Virtual Boy related after hearing this.
So yeah, honestly, I can just say it right now. I do not know who in their right mind is actually going to get the Virtual Boy app on Nintendo Switch 1 or 2. I know for a fact I certainly won't. And honestly, even though I'm not usually one to judge one's gaming preferences, I kind of have to think you might be a little bit insane to get it on yours.
I think that the Nintendo DS would have been a better choice, honestly.
For sure.
Should probably be next. Honestly, if there's a silver lining, this might mean that they might release a second screen accessory for the DS.
Probably.
Yeah, and that definitely would be pretty good, and that definitely is something I'd like to see happen for sure. But
I just hope they don't. I just hope it doesn't turn into a. In order to play DS games, you have to do it in handheld mode only. That would definitely suck.
yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. But yeah, for sure. If this was a thing where like they just announced the Virtual Boy and you could still play the games even on the TV or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, you know, that's kind of weird, and I still don't even know if I'd get the Virtual Boy games because, you know, obviously the Virtual Boy there's really no notably good games for the Virtual Boy out of of course Wario Land. But
Wario Land.
yeah.
I was considering like it to play the game just for Wario Land because I've heard that's actually the one good game on Virtual Boy, but at this point, I'll just emulate it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Wario Land, from what I've heard, is like the only game on Virtual Boy that's like worthwhile. But as far as like I said, you know, it could have been a thing where like I was like, yeah, that's kind of weird, but it might have at least been kind of funny and like interesting to check out. But no, of course, as usual, they had to completely ruin it by making you get ridiculous amounts of money to pay for the accessories, and not only pay for them, but like also require them to use it in the first place. So. Honestly, I don't know what Nintendo's thinking of doing this, unless I guess they're just hoping that people will be suckered in enough to to actually buy some Virtual Boy stuff.
Yeah. I would think.
And just like the earlier things, of course, with the DK Bonanza DLC, the Mario Galaxy Prize, and of course that DLC for Pokemon Legends EA, this is just another pattern of Nintendo's greed, which, I know that was also kind of a topic in like the first direct as well, but at least back then, I think you could say that, at least back then you could say, well, you could at least get the bundle and stuff, and of course, obviously, DK Bonanza ended up being a great game to many people, but in this case, it really is hard to deny, especially with this Virtual Boy and Legends EA shit, that it feels like Nintendo is just begging for money at this point.
Oh yes, definitely.
So yeah, the Virtual Boy, I definitely would say, was probably the biggest failure of this direct. Now, one last thing that I didn't actually write down, but that actually was shown in this direct, and I will mention it really quickly because I know that one of my real life best friends is definitely for sure probably gonna get this game. Is of course the fact that the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to Switch too. So even though I've really only played Final Fantasy, I think I've only played like 8 and a little bit of 12. I will say this remake does look absolutely gorgeous, and I've seen one of my real life friends play it, and I know he's going to be really excited to play it when it comes out. So I hope that for him for him he really enjoys playing it on a Switch too.
I can't wait for Final Fantasy VII because that was actually my introduction to the Final Fantasy games. Back when Final Fantasy VII was released on the PlayStation 1.
So yeah. And as far as other games that were not set to direct, I really don't have pretty much anything to say about most of them. I mean, a couple of them did look like they could be like interesting games, but they're really just not for me. So obviously, if anybody does want to get them, that's cool. But it's not going to be one I'm checking out. Actually, no, I just remember there is one other Switch 2 Edition game I do kind of want to briefly discuss because it is actually one that I have played a fair amount before, and I'm sure one of my friends, Bowser Girl, is going to be really excited to try to play this again with me whenever she gets the Switch 2, and that is, of course, the fact that Overcooked 2 is getting a Switch 2 Edition. Now, I probably would have honestly preferred All You Can Eat getting a Switch 2 Edition, since that's kind of like 1 and 2 combined. But overall, considering the fact that I do like Overcooked 2 and that game is a lot of fun, that probably actually will be the rare Switch 2 Edition game they should have that I might actually get.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the case, and I can't wait for it.
For sure, and it's definitely going to be quite fun going for some of the levels again. I'm not the best at Overcooked 2, obviously. There's a lot of other people, even in my community, that are a lot better at that game. But it is still definitely a lot of fun, and so we'll definitely have to wait and see how things shake out with that.
All right.
So yeah, I think that kind of covers basically all the main things I wanted to get into. But for some more general notes in terms of like things I actually thought about this direct, and obviously my overall thoughts. Like I said, overall to me, it was very much a mixed bag. I know it kind of sounds like I ran along this video, but believe me, there was a lot of stupid things Nintendo announced. But overall, I would still probably give the direct about a 7 out of 10, mainly because of the fact that even for as much as I hate some of the pricing, the Mario stuff generally does look really good, and the very few things that excited me about that were honestly pretty cool as well. I definitely am excited, like I said, still about the Mario Galaxy double pack, and of course, obviously, like I said, Mario Tennis Fever does look really good, and like I said, I am also looking forward to Overcooked 2 a lot. I'm sure the new Yoshi game will be a lot of fun. So in general, like I said, in terms of things I liked from this direct, that they were pretty big highlights overall.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And even the fact that Overcooked 2 is getting a Switch 2 edition, I generally do think is really cool. Now, of course, though, there are still some general overall complaints I have with the presentation, namely the fact that, well, a lot of this direct, in fact, let's be honest, most of it was basically showing DLC for games, and it's like, for the Switch 1 era, it was kind of understandable that, they would do a lot of DLC stuff, or like releases of past games, because obviously it was coming out the failed Wii U generation, so obviously they kind of had to entice people to buy these games on the Switch, and of course, to a lot of them, it kind of felt like new games anyway, but for the Switch 2 in particular, since pretty much everybody and their mother owns a Switch, it really does feel unnecessary to be releasing a lot of these games.
Definitely.
And I do kind of worry that Nintendo has gotten a bit too comfortable with, the idea of re-releasing games in general, to the point where it's kind of like becoming their brand now. But the bigger problem, like I said, is the fact that, the pricing has definitely gotten out of control. I'm someone who has been a big Nintendo fan pretty much my entire life, really since I could first walk, and so, as much as I want to, defend them and pretend like a lot of these prices are good, even I am kind of starting to get fed up with this, because, in a lot of ways, it just kind of feels like Nintendo is just trying to basically sucker into giving them as much money as possible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, I don't want to sound like too pessimistic.
Get away with it now, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sound too pessimistic, but, given the fact that, obviously it's common knowledge now that Sakurai is doing Kirby Air Riders, because obviously he wanted to do that first before a new Smash game. It does make me worry that when that said new Smash game comes out, they're not only going to come up with like some weird gimmick to it, but it's also gonna cost like a ridiculous amount of money too. Like, imagine a $90 Smash game with $20 to $30 paid DLC and other crap like that. That might.
I feel like it'll be. I feel like the new Smash will probably be $80 and with paid DLC.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, something like that might sound outlandish, but it does kind of feel like they're going down that route.
If that's the case, I'll probably buy it and then only buy DLC characters that I actually give a shit about this time, instead of just buying them all.
Yeah, pretty much, and I can imagine that most people also do the same thing as well, especially with how tight money is right now in this world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And like I said, it does kind of feel like a shame Nintendo is going down this route. But like I said, overall, the highlights were still pretty high, and I really am looking forward to seeing how like a lot of these things will kind of develop in depth when we learn more information about them soon. Like, obviously, like I said, I'm sure the Neosha game will turn out fine, and since Galaxy 2 is getting re-released, I definitely will be excited to try out that game and maybe even check out some of the new story pages. We'll see what happens, but overall, like I said, I'd say very much this is very much a mixed bag direct. But it was honestly not the direct Nintendo needed at this time. I feel like, considering how new the Switch 2 is, they really needed like a home run to really, sell people on this new console. And
yeah, most of this direct for Nintendo was DLC and Switch 2 editions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of like a home run direct needed to like sell the new console to so many people, this direct did not really do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but there wasn't really any new games that piqued my interest that much.
Now you're here.
Yeah. So really, it's hard right now at this very moment to kind of recommend the Switch to anybody that isn't like a diehard Nintendo fan. And even then, you kind of gotta be super diehard to really want to drop $500 at this moment.
Especially with Mario Kart World, it feels like it's gonna be a nightmare to fully 100% complete.
But yeah, I think that's gonna about.
Especially given how first impressions with the computer AI operated, they were the hardest, from what I've heard, the hardest AI that I ever had to go up against.
Yep. So yeah, overall, if I had to give a rating for this direct, I know I kind of gave a different rating in the other day when I did my podcast video with Mark on his channel, but after really thinking everything through and after really kind of like examining what I thought of the direct, I actually think probably a 6.5 out of 10 is probably more accurate. I know I gave it a 7 out of 10 in that video, but now that I've kind of had more time to think and process everything, I think 6.5 out of 10 is more than fair. Really, the only reason I'm not giving it a 5, like I said, is just because, like I said, the good thing is I really did like a lot.
I'm gonna give it a 5 just because of all the Pokemon stuff that really, like, disappointed me and made me upset.
I'm gonna give it a 6 because of the whole Virtual Boy and, like I said, all the overpricing the DLC and the game themselves.
Yep.
The Danganronpa announcement honestly kind of saves it from being like a 3 in my eyes based on just how little actual new games for Nintendo have shown.
Yep.
Right.
So yeah, not the worst Nintendo Direct has done, not by a long shot, but definitely by far not their best, and definitely by far not their best.
People say it's the worst. People say it's the worst. Doesn't remember the Wii U Directs.
Exactly. Yeah, those were painful, especially because I lived for the Wii U era.
Honestly, the worst Direct we had was the one that revealed Ultra Smash.
Yeah, exactly. God, yeah, because that game was so terrible.
I think Ultra Smash and Amiibo Festival got announced in the same Direct, so I think that's the worst Direct.
Yeah, I had to agree with that. But yeah, even though it wasn't the worst Direct, it definitely by far was not the best, and like I said, considering this is the time where Nintendo really needs to start drumming up the Switch 2 hype and really to try to get, you know, people who aren't like diehard Nintendo fans to get the console, it definitely could have been a lot better than it actually was. So, like I said, you know, not horrible, but definitely quite a letdown.
Absolutely.
All right, but anyway, I think that's going to do it for this podcast discussion episode. It actually turned out to be a bit shorter than I thought it was, I guess just because of the fact that, like I said, a lot of the games they announced, I really have nothing to say about, nor am I even probably gonna ever check out. But either way, I think I pretty much touched on like all the main points I wanted to hit home here. So, like I said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any closing thoughts as well, feel free to state them.
Yep. No, I think I said pretty much everything.
All right. Well, then in that case, thank you very much, Crazy and Craig, for joining me for this episode of the podcast, and I'll see you guys all for October's edition next month. So thank you all for watching. This is Come and Party with Nick, signing out, and have a good day.